What up, what up, what up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one. This one is Love Don't Judge. Don't be judging me how I love, all right? I'm not going to hold you. This should be interesting, y'all. Hold your seats. Hold your seats. Get your popcorn, get your coffee, get your drink ready, and check this out. Let's go in.
This is Blue. She fell in love with JB.
I had to marry him. Okay. I stand by my decision saying I had to marry him. Yes, I had to marry him.
I don't know why that was funny, but was that Mama? Hold on. Let me see if that was Mama. Because yeah, that looks like her mama. And let me tell you something. I swear I'm not trying to be mean or anything, okay? But if Mama think this chick got a lot of options, okay? Like, girl, you could have married a millionaire. No, Mama. No. It ain't like your daughter got a ton of options. Okay, can we talk? Can we keep it real? Don't be frustrated, okay? Let her do her thing. Let's hear the story.
I am Blue and I married my husband over the phone. People judge my relationship because my husband's in prison. I met my husband February 2022. My friend was talking to somebody in his pod and he kept hearing my voice over the phone. And he's like, "Who is that?" After some convincing, they talked us into getting to know each other. I didn't grow up as a little girl and be like, oh, I want to be with an inmate. Like, that sounds so cool. The stereotypes that come with it, I believed all of them. So when they introduced us, I was not for it. And I ended up falling in love with him. As a bigger woman, I was still very self-conscious about putting myself out there. So I made sure I sent him a picture.
As a bigger woman, you were conscious of being put out there or putting yourself out there? For real? I'm just saying. As a big woman. Okay. She is married. She looks like she fell in love with an inmate. And this is a part that us society, we need to talk about in the black community, okay? Because she looks mixed to me. So I think, maybe her pops is, black or whatever. But I don't know. I need to hear more of the story. Let's go back in here.
Sure, of every angle. I let him know my weight, my height. And his response back to me was, "You're beautiful. I don't care what size you are. And let me see some more of them angles because you look good." Our first meeting was, I thought it was going to be awkward. And it was the complete opposite. And I just locked eyes with him for like 5 minutes, it seems like. And even not touching him, I could feel him. So I grabbed the phone and he's like, "Hi, beautiful." And I instantly just started crying because the man that I've been in love with for the last year, the person that I call my best friend, is like finally in front of me. And
let me say this though. Y'all probably trip out with me, right? But she do got some cute features. She is a bit cute. She's what did I call that? Chubby cute, something like that. She's a chubby cute. High cheekbones. She got them eyelashes in. Look like her hair is. She took out the off the wig and rocking her real natural curly hair. Skin looks nice. I think the only problem really is her weight, to be honest. But let me tell you something. If you are locked up, a whole bunch of hard legs, okay, this chick is gonna look gorgeous to you. I kid you not. If I'm that brother, I'm like, girl, you fine in the mother, for real, girl. Come see me. Come holler at me. I want to see all them curves. I want to see the softness. Okay, you got a whole bunch of softness. I want to squeeze the Charmin. Okay, can I squeeze it? Okay, I can't get through this glass, but if I could, I would squeeze the Charmin. Girl, I can't wait to get out to be with you. Okay, to stay around. Only got 24 years to go, but after those 24 years, it's me and you. I ain't right. I ain't right. Let's go back in.
Finally in front of me, and I fell in love with him all over again for the first time at our first visit. Me and my husband got married in secret. I think my biggest regret when getting married was the fact that my parents weren't there. I told them over the phone because I was scared of looking them in the eye. And
yeah, and that's another thing. I'm gonna let y'all rock out and hear it, but that's another thing. When you're locked up, I never been locked up, so I don't know. But if I can only imagine, if you're locked up, you're probably going to care more about her voice than you are her looks. Think about that. Oh, that's a bar. You're going to care more about her voice than her looks because you're going to fall in love with the voice. Y'all remember, he heard her voice. He was like, who is that? That's a voice I can listen. That's a feminine voice I can listen to. I never mind how she looked, because when I go to sleep at night, I'm gonna create a character. I'm gonna give her an avatar. Okay? I'm gonna give her an avatar that's beautiful and gorgeous. And now I got a voice to work with. And I'm going to fall in love with that avatar. Now, when she come visit me, reality strikes, okay? But that voice, it's a need for a connection. You got a voice. You have an actual human being to talk to on the phone. But I don't doubt this guy created an avatar around her voice as far as look wise. I mean, he probably thinks she's nice looking or whatever, and soft and cuddly and cute and all that. But let me tell you something. The human connection is what he's really falling in love with. It's almost like Love is Blind. Y'all see that show, Love is Blind? Okay, you could fall in love with the avatar of somebody. You get that voice, you get those emotions, you start to really connect with each other. I mean, without even seeing them. And it's the same as Love is Blind type of thing. But let's go back in.
Seeing the disappointment in my dad's face. We got married by proxy. We did our ceremony over the phone. So he called in, we spoke, we did the ceremony, we said our own vows, and then voila, we were married.
Real quick, y'all. I know I keep stopping and I'm sorry, but I have to say something. Fellas, I could probably speak for all of us. I have 4 daughters. That's right. Mike the Philosopher has 4 daughters. I put in work. Okay? All my kids are gorgeous. All of them. Trust me. But let me tell you something. I will be salty as hell if one of my daughters came to me and told me she got married over the phone to a ninja in jail. Okay? I would question her. I would question her mama. I would question me. How the hell did this happen? Okay? For all my daughters watching, don't try it. Okay? Pops ain't having that. And annulments will be made if it is attempted. But what I'm saying is, back to the show. I got triggered. I ain't go front. Once she said, I told my father, he had a look of disappointment. That it's rough being a father to daughters. I got 4 of them joints. It's rough being a father to daughters. Love them all, but sometimes they can do some stupid stuff. I'm gonna just keep it real. Okay? And it is painful for a father to have to hear his daughter getting married to an inmate. Like, you start questioning life after that, for real. So I had to pause it there because I am a father. Father, 4 daughters. But let's go back in.
There was no exchanging of rings or anything, but he did get me a ring, which is the one I have on my hand. So my mom's gonna be coming over to talk about me and JB's relationship. Me and my mother got into a fight really bad one time. And she said, well, at least I didn't have to go to prison to find someone to love me. And that hurt like hell. How did you feel when you first found out I was dating JB and he was in prison?
I told you from the beginning that I supported you, but I didn't recommend you date somebody that was in prison, especially somebody that still had some time to do.
But now that you know JB and you've gotten to know him, are you like, do you still have the same concerns that you did before?
Yes. I mean, I'm happy that y'all are still talking, and you didn't have to get married. I mean, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. Well, why did you have to get married? Why couldn't you wait for him to get out to get married?
I had to marry him.
Okay.
Okay, real quick, y'all. I promise. We talked about him creating an avatar, right? But the part that we haven't talked about is her creating an avatar for a husband. She probably feels like marriage is a goal that is probably not as attainable as she would like. But she got a guy who do want to marry her. And this guy is showing her all kind of attention and love. Okay? A woman could get swept up in that. And she could it's almost like the love is blind for her too. She don't necessarily have to see this guy. She could just fall in love with the person that she talks to on the phone. I remember I was short story, y'all. I was what was I, 14, 15? And I had a girlfriend. Okay? Shout out to Nisi. Nisi was my girl. Alright? And this is in the day when the phones was on the wall. There ain't none of this smartphone stuff, right? The phone was on the wall. Okay? Long ass cord. Cord was like 20, 30 feet long. I would get the phone off the hook. I would take the cord and the receiver into my room. It was right next to the phone. And I didn't see her much. But man, oh man. A teenage love. Okay? All we did was talk on the phone for hours. Hours, y'all. We talked on the phone for hours. You remember, some of y'all might remember when you know, y'all used to talk on the phone so long you would fall asleep and stuff. You know, you remember those days? You playing Slick Rick in the back, a teenage love. You know what I mean? Don't hurt me again. And the point of that story is to show you that you could fall for someone. And I fell for her. I fell in love with her. I hardly ever seen her because I was on the other side of town and she was on the other. And we were teenagers. We didn't really have no cars or nothing or no access like that. We wasn't very close. Okay, I would only see her when I would go over my cousin's house because she lived next to my cousin. That's how I met her. But I couldn't really see her that much. So it was all on the phone. It was no FaceTime. There was no none of that. There was no social media, Facebook. I didn't see her, period. Okay? A lot of y'all probably don't even know where I'm coming from. Some of y'all do though. But it's possible, I guess is what I'm saying, to just, dive deep into a person's personality and not even have to really see them much. And I think that that's what this young lady was trying to do, find love in a way that's maybe not so physical, but more emotional. And who better to do that with than a guy who got all the time in the world to talk to you in prison. Anyway, let's go back in.
I stand by my decision saying I had to marry him. Yes, I had to marry him. He was sentenced to 30 years at the age of 17, turning 18. He's done 11 so far. He has to do 15 in order to be eligible for parole, which is going to be February 2028. If that is denied, then every 6 months after that, he comes up. So there's no telling how much time he has left. I'm going to phone JB. I talk to him multiple times a day, every day.
An inmate at unit. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring.
Hi, honey.
Hey, beautiful.
So, my love, what are your plans for when you come home to me, for when you get out of prison?
No. I'm going to have our own business, but until then, I'm going to spoil you right.
How many babies are we having?
Cheers for 3.
We're gonna chill after 3?
Get regroup, figure some things out.
Baby, how do you think we maintain our relationship so well?
No matter what the problem is, we find a way to overcome it because we know each other so well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of you, right? And everything that you've done and you continue to do. I get the normal stereotypes. He's using you for the money. You have no self-respect. You're delusional. And I'm not naive to the stereotypes. I think that the only reason I get the criticism that I do is because I'm a bigger woman. Because I've seen other prison wives. And if they're skinnier, prettier, more societally attractive, they're considered ride or die. But because they see me, I'm automatically considered dumb and stupid. This is probably the first handwritten letter he sent me. I wake up next to this beautiful woman I'm proud to call my wife. We fall asleep in each other's arms again, but when I wake up, she's out of my embrace and sleeping with her back towards me. I'm just blessed to have such a wonderful and amazing woman to call my wife. And I'm always going to be here. I already got my mind made up, but it's best for me to have you a part of my life. And then he rambles off into something that I can't speak about.
Yeah, then the brother get X-rated a little bit, but we ain't gonna read that on TV. Listen, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. And this is gonna be a surprise to y'all, but I love y'all. Okay? For real. Mike the Philosopher loves you. Thank you for watching, by the way. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Like the video. But I genuinely do love y'all. I want to see everybody happy. I want to see this young lady happy. if she got a smile on her face, then who's to now? Could this be my daughter? Hell no. I'd jump into jail to break his neck. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me start over. The father just came out in me. Hold on. Let me start over. I do love y'all. All right. I do want to see her happy. One would think that she could probably find happiness another way. Will this guy stay loyal to her once he gets out? These are legitimate questions. First of all, what the hell is he in jail for anyway? Okay? Let's talk about that elephant in the room. What is he in there for? Okay? So, there's a lot of things to consider. But he fulfilled a bit of probably what could be considered a fantasy for her by becoming her husband. I don't know how old she is, but the guys are probably not beating down her door. All right? And they probably aren't sticking around long enough to get to know her personally. Maybe she'll have an encounter here or there, or maybe she'll have a situationship, or maybe she'll have a jump off. All those things are highly possible. I'm not saying she can't find a relationship. She could find a guy in a relationship and be with a guy. But apparently, you know what I mean? Apparently, it doesn't look like it's a thing right now. So, I hope the brother treats her well when he gets out, if he gets out. It's hard for me to think that he's going to all of a sudden be a stand-up guy. He's going to come out of, the pen and start a business and be this alpha male and this, this traditional man and have 3 kids, a white picket fence. I mean, we're really talking fantasy stuff here right now. Okay? But that's what they're living in. They're living in the fantasy. Actually, believe it or not, they're sort of using each other because they need each other for their own psychological reasons. Okay? There are no victims here. But no, my daughters can't do this. First of all, my daughters are drop dead gorgeous, so they won't need to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to throw shade or nothing, but I'm just saying there's probably a reason why she went this route, and it's probably due to some self-esteem issues. Let's just keep it high. Let's just keep it real. Let's talk, okay? There's probably some self-esteem issues going on with her. There's probably some, affection needs with him. Maybe even self-esteem issues with him too. I mean, he married her, so his self-esteem is probably pretty low at this point. And they're using each other, and they need each other. But what I found is that when something changes dramatically, people's mind changes dramatically. What do I mean by that? If he gets out and he got his freedom, he's subject to change. If she drops some weight and gets slim and trim, she's subject to change. One of those is possible. 2 of those is possible. But one of those is likely. The only way this will continue to work is if they are staying exactly where they are. So I unfortunately don't think it's sustainable. but I understand why they did it. They're using each other. Let's go back in. Here's some more.
Our relationship dynamic is dom sub. Our rules, like, we don't ever discuss our arguments with anybody but each other. We don't argue in public. That's our number one boundary. We never call each other out each other's names. We never go to sleep mad. And we let each other talk. If there's no mutual respect, it's not gonna work.
You love me for me.
Do I love you? I don't remember saying that. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I love you bunches. I love you bunches. Him going to prison probably saved his life. So I firmly believe me meeting him in prison was probably the right thing for us. Being a prison wife is not easy. Being a prison wife is not for the weak. If you want to hate on it and you want to talk about it, do it. But it takes a strong person to deal with this lifestyle. But at the same time, as long as it's with him, I do it all over again, and I do it again. Just because it's him.
Wow.
I ain't doing this again for nobody else but him.
At least you dropped that last bar. I ain't doing it for nobody else again other than him. Yeah, so there you have it with her and her husband. She's actually kind of cute, to be honest. I mean, she's something soft to fall on. You know what I mean? But like I said before, I think that they need each other. They're kind of using each other, and that's okay. As long as they're not hurting each other. But once something changes dramatically in one or the other, that's when the walls are going to start falling for this relationship, unfortunately. But I have no problem with this as long as it ain't none of my daughters. Okay. I'm just keeping it real. Anyway, thanks for watching. You dope if you watched this far. Put in the comments, what are your opinions about this? What are your thoughts about this? Her man is in jail, her husband. All right. And I really would be interested to know. Hit the like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I ain't doing this again for nobody else but him.
At least you dropped that last bar. I ain't doing it for nobody else again other than him.